Hitting record. All right.
Alrighty. Hello,
Would you
everybody.
look at that?
Right in the nick of time, like a bullet from a gun, the Lone Ranger. Or something like that. I don't know.
Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
that's going all right.
All
Lily!
right,
Jesus
so
Christ!
I'm going to go just real briefly over what happened
I'm
last week.
recording for
and then we'll
YouTube,
get
so
right
you gotta
into
be
it.
quiet.
So last week, you guys got kicked out of the Obtuse Owl abruptly, where you experienced the first level, the entry level, also known as the Grand Hall of Sorrows in the Tower of Voe. You were greeted by the big baddie, Vormir. You had some drinks. There was some not so happy exchanges made between you all, and then he left you to your devices, or essentially some fog, a large room, and some really, really nasty ghosts. Basically, ghosts of the Tower of Voe. Initiative was
Vosts.
rolled. Ghosts of Vosts. Yes, those.
Votes.
Vosts. Yes, Vosts.
Thanks, I'll be here all week.
Yeah. You guys had a rather long combat, which was very interesting. They took over or possessed Felice and Brayton, and just about wiped the party clean. When
Yeah, we need to avoid that shit.
when Felice's tattoo, which was a circle, originally had a black dotted circle with a golden canary on it, but that had disappeared whenever the party had first approached the tower, had been taken away from her. But something reached through and replaced her tattoo the way that it should be, and basically shocked herself out of being possessed by this ghost. At which the party was then able to regain control of the situation and managed to down all four ghosts. They then did some poking around, looking around. They found some, I believe it was crystalline vials that had a certain curve cut in the bottom of them. And there was four raised daises in the corner of each corner of this grand hall. And they took them and arranged them in the correct order, setting them down in it, which drained all the water out of that central pool that housed these ghosts. It was like, if you think back to the movie The Mummy, when they were getting ready to bring Anck-su-namun back, there was that like writhing pool of like liquidy spirits. And that's essentially what this pool was. And it just drained away into nothing, uh, showing you a set of steps, a spiral staircase downward. You traverse the spiral staircase and then all entered back into the obtuse owl. To which it is evening time. You all have had some drinks. You've had a little bit of discourse with Thalen. He gave you a small hint about what your next day's adventure could possibly be like. He bestowed upon you, after a request, something to help keep you warm, and you guys were given each a cloak of the veil, which, if one of you would like to, or does everybody, first of all, does everybody know that you got that? If you didn't read the play-by-play, you wouldn't know that you got that. So please add to your list of items an attuned magical item called the Cloak of Veils, and it will give you advantage on one Constitution saving throw against environmental, like things, heat, cold, wet, those kinds of things. So it'll give you advantage against it.
So I don't want to segue too hard too fast, but like as soon as you in the play-by-play, you were like, or play-by-post, you were like, oh, it's gonna be cold, and I was like, this, how fucking cool would my character look with one of those wolf pelt coats from Game of Thrones? I was like, I'm gonna ask. and you fucking gave me a cloak, and I'm like, yes, I'm very excited. I'm
And
Skylen.
Thalen will ask each of you if there is any kind of fashion that you would like to it, and he would be happy to make tailor arrangements for you before you go to bed this evening. You but need to ask, is all you need. I will take care of you. You know, you are my champions and the only way out of here, so whatever I can make you happy for the next day, within reason, I will do. And more food makes its way out to you guys. It's about this time that the heavier foods have subsided, and you're on to more things like cakes and tea and things like that. If you want to continue drinking, you may. Totally up to you. But that's kind of where we are with the evening, and I will hand it over to the players as your second day in the Tower of Voe will be soon upon you.
So we've had a long rest all.
You have not had it yet. You have just exited Tower Level 1, and you are back in the obtuse safety of the Obtuse Owl, and you're finishing off your evening with Thalen. So that is where you currently are, in the tavern.
Well, I'm never going to turn down more drinks, so keep them floating chalices coming.
And just like Sword in the Stone, where he's like, cleaning the dishes with the magic, they just kind of out to you.
Hell yeah. So Felice is definitely double fisting chalices in this wolf cloak, looking absolutely badass. Or she thinks she is. She's probably drunk as shit at this point, but she thinks she's pretty cool.
Why don't we test out that new? Well, it's only for environmental, but I guess
define environmental.
I guess you could argue that maybe a bar is its own environment. So give me a Constitution saving throw to see.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I mean these go so well for that character.
Yeah.
Hey, Mazel tov. All right, nice. So you're doing just fine.
All right, you guys, shut the TV off and go upstairs. I'm tired of telling you guys.
There is no issues with that. Is there anything else?
She's right next to you.
To ask Thalen, any items that you need, any components that you need. This is your time to restock. This is your time to ask questions. This is your time to, work through any problems within the party. Make your arrangements for your spell settings for the next day, things of that nature. When you come back to the Obtuse Owl, this is your opportunity to talk about those things and not be afraid that what's right around the corner to jump you in the face. So make sure you take and use that time, because as we go along, it's only going to get harder from here.
So how much does, I guess this is a little meta and I could probably roleplay it, but so does he know what is on the next floor or on several floors, or does he have recanted experience from people?
I would say that he doesn't always know exactly. He doesn't know exactly what's going to happen to you. I would say he knows of a majority of the levels within the tower. But there are things that his brother has never told him, that he's never found out about, his realm of things, just as Vormir doesn't know all of the things about what goes on inside the Obtuse Owl. So there is a kind of a fog of war there, if you will, to some degree. So yeah, you'll kind of have to RP those moments to kind of drag them out of either one of them to see if they know what they know. So,
Breton will grab a bottle of wine and a second and a third, dragging the new cloak over to the corner, uncork, and just start going to work.
Sounds like a good time.
Drinking is my business, and business is good.
More along the lines of,
Drowning your sorrows.
yeah, this
Or
is the
shame.
exact opposite of business was good.
I'm gonna pull
Yeah.
out my alchemy jug
Okay.
and just start pouring wine out of it as well. And cheers.
I picture Ellen dancing around
Cheers,
and
Brett.
drinking, and
Yeah, I can produce a gallon of wine. I think I'm good.
nice. I think you can do just fine for sure.
I'm gonna have to borrow that from you.
Britton isn't cheering, he's drinking straight from the bottle.
Well, you don't get my wine because you hurt me.
Aww. Thalen pats you on the back, Ellen, and you feel this like little bit of a tingly warm sensation hit your shoulder as he does, and you feel all of your like aches and pains from getting the shit beat out of you just kind of disappear, and it almost feels like it from your toes up through your body and out through your shoulder where his hand is touching you. It almost feels like he Green Mile draws it out of you, like.
Wow.
Keep touching me, Daddy.
He just grins. Yep, he just grins. All right. So, does anybody have anything that they need or want?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah, so like Felice kind of walks over to Thalen and like leans over his shoulder and whatever he's doing. Like I need like one of these things, and she's like pulling out her eyelashes. Like I need one of these to be sticky. I need it to be sticky in case some kind of a gum. Can you do that? Can you make that happen?
He reaches up and takes your eyelash from you, and he's looking at you and just smiling. He's like, there, dear, have a seat right here. He's gonna walk behind the bar, and he's gonna like reach down and pick this little cup up, and he'll set it on the bar, and he'll bring like a little tea saucer and set it on the bar, and he'll drop your lens on there or drop your eyelash on there, and then he'll take like just the little tiniest spoon you've ever seen, and it's like platinum, like shiny platinum, and he just dips ever so slightly into this little jar, and he goes, bloop, and it goes, and he hits it, and you see this kind of like smoke off of it for a second, and then he goes, I think that'll be sticky enough.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Can I get you anything else?
I think I'm good.
Okay, fair enough. You have one sticky eyelash with the gum of Vo. There you go. Right.
Neat.
Guys, I'm AFK.
Huh? Oh, okay.
AFK.
Yep, got it. So, anybody need anything else? Lady Ikaria, do you need anything? You good to go?
No,
Okay.
she's just drinking water. She wants to keep her wits about her. Somebody has to.
Don't judge me.
She has
Judging
got.
anybody. Just,
She.
I'm just saying, don't
I
go in the
don't know.
kitchen.
She's.
Whatever you do,
Yeah,
do
don't.
not go in the kitchen.
I do not recommend the kitchen. The kitchen is awful.
We were just in that. We just came out of we were there. What's the problem?
I mean,
Go ahead if you want to see.
energy fields and kittens. I mean, what could go wrong, right?
Sounds right.
So, all right. Well, if nobody has anything else to do for the evening, we will fast forward to you all going to your rooms for the evening. They are fashioned in whatever accoutrement, feng shui, whatever you want. Think of it think of this place now as your home. It is to please your aesthetic, to please
Hey!
your mind, to relax you. When you come here, um, he will make every effort to help you relax. Because when you are on the other side of this, it is hell, absolute and utter hell. So I'm actually going to go around the table here, and I would like to have each of you describe what your room would look like for your character. And I'm going to start to my right, Lady Akaria. Would you please describe what your room would look like?
A big, like a 4-poster bed with the the real completely close off, curtain off, a fireplace, a clawfoot tub, lots of furs on the floor instead of carpet.
Respect. I like it.
Yeah.
All right. You have a hot, steaming bath awaiting you as you arrive back to your chambers with silk robes and a nice cotton towel.
That's what we're talking about.
There you go. To your right, we have the beautiful Lady Thalise.
This is a magic room. It's just whatever.
It's whatever you want it to be, and you can change it each time you come home.
Oh, neat. That's cool. It's Animal Crossing. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you like open the door and every wall is just like bookshelves. Like you look up and you can't see the ceiling. It's just books just everywhere. And there's no bed, but there's like the largest, leatheriest, comfiest chair you've ever seen. And under the chair, like the chair is sitting on like a giant, like a keg of wine. With like a straw in it. There's a little table.
It's like a little fashioned.
Yeah, imagine
almost like a bullhorn, but a straw. That's badass. I love that.
Who doesn't like books?
Hey, we'll go with Mr. Joe, or Ellen, I should say.
Yeah, Ellen's room. You walk in and it's almost like it's very dark with like strobe lights and like party lights just moving around, and there's like a big bed that's like on a rotating. It's just kind of like rotating constantly, and there's like curtains, and it just almost seems like it's floating there.
Nice.
And there's something.
There's like a little bardic drum beat going on in the background.
Exactly, constantly.
So it's a love hotel. Got it.
Got it. Perfect. That's badass. I love that. I believe Brayton is AFK. Acno, Professor, what does your bedroom look like?
It's industrial. Lots of metal.
Okay.
Lots of gears and parts, moving parts. Lots of things moving and clicking and whirring and spinning.
Kind of steampunky-ish.
Yeah, sort of steampunky. You see some like vials of like sort of beakers with tubes coming out of it and kind of colored liquids swirling from side to side. I mean, almost like a mad scientist's lab. Yeah, very industrial looking, but comfy. Lots of lush, but the materials are lush, like velvets and sort of pods.
Awesome.
Bed is very thick mattress.
I love it. Do we have a Brayton back on board? All right. We will wait for our next episode to hear what his bedroom looks like. So you all find yourselves taking to sleep. Those of you that sleep or need to sleep or want to sleep. Pretty restful. In fact, you can't remember a time when it was easier for you to go to sleep if you choose sleep to take you. It's calming. It's soothing. There's just the right amount of light in each of your rooms, or no light at all. There's just the right sounds and the right everything that your mind's eye and your heart would feel that would put you in a calm place, it just seems to be there. And so sleep takes you. And in the middle of night, Lady Ikaria, you have this dream, and you're standing on a stone slab, and you're overlooking a huge valley. And it just goes on for miles and miles and miles ahead of you. The sun kind of off to your left-hand side, shining down across the valley, and it is covered in rock and snow. The light just glinting off of it, shining almost so bright that it snow blinds you. And in the distance, you see some kind of hill or mountain or something. And you hear this voice in your head say, to me. I have more to show you.
Not creepy at all.
And you sit up in your bed and you look down at your left arm, and there is a tattoo of a mountain peak on your left arm, and the top of it is obscured in fog.
Okay.
And that's it.
What the hell? All right.
There's no voice. Your room is exactly how you left it. The water's been drained out of your tub. Your fire is lowly lit and flickering. It's warm. You're in your 4-poster bed. Everything is perfect, except for you sitting bolt upright, sweating in your bed with a new tattoo on your left arm.
Mm-hmm.
And as you look at your tattoo again, you swear that in that fog, you catch a glimmer of 2 red eyes, and then it disappears.
Okay, I'm gonna go down and have a drink now. I'm up.
Okay. You leave your room, you go downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting at a table, kind of back in the corner by the fireplace, Thalen is sitting there, and he has a book, and he's just quietly flipping through the pages. He doesn't look up. He's just looking at the book. Takes a sip of wine, sets his glass back down. Do you call his name? Do you get his attention? Or do you just grab what you want and go sit down?
Well, I'm gonna head to the bar and very softly ask him, "May I help myself?"
He'll raise his hand like this. Do as you
Okay.
want. Do as you will. In your head. He doesn't even speak. You just hear in your head, grab what you like. I'll be here if you need me.
Okay. I will pour myself 1 glass of wine and go sit by the fire.
Okay. You sit by the fire, and as you're sitting there having your wine and kind of contemplating this whole thing that just happened in your mind, roll a perception check for me, if you would, please. You can't make out what it's saying, but you hear this like low, faint, quiet, like it's so quiet that you damn near don't hear it, but it's words, and they're repeating themselves over and over and over again. The same sentence over and over again. But you focus so hard and you just can't make it out.
I will try to meditate and clear my mind and see if that makes it any clearer.
As you sit there and you focus and you try to push all of the things that could distract your mind out, you pick up bits and pieces, and it's almost like, what languages do you speak?
Hold, please.
Holding. Hold.
Common, Draconic, Elvish, Gnomish, and Sylvan.
It's Sylvan, but it's like really, really, really archaic Sylvan, if that makes any sense whatsoever.
Yes.
And you pick up just a couple of words here and there. And the basic gist that you get out of it is steel yourself, like steel against, steel yourself.
Mhm.
The cold one comes. And that's all you hear.
Okay. I will ask Thalen, do you know who the cold one is?
In your mind, he doesn't look up from the book at all. He takes another sip of wine and he sets it down and he says, I can't say that I've heard of that one, though it does make me wonder what my brother has been up to. And he's going to think, and he does not recall. He does not recall what the cold one would be.
Okay. I'm going to try and nap in the chair.
Okay. Easy enough.
There's another person in the room with me.
Not too much time goes by and you feel sleep wash over you and you're out. The room just kind of slowly, the light just kind of lowers with you around it. The fire lowers itself, and Thalen is just sitting over in his seat that he's probably done for thousands of years, and he's reading his book. All right. So the night passes. Nothing else transpires for you all until very early the next morning, when all of a sudden you feel yourself dropped out of your bed, out of your chair, out of your position of comfort. And the cold, bitter wind strikes your face, and instantly you
tired of yelling at you guys.
Upright. You are knee deep in snow. The wind smashing straight into your face with tidbits of ice pellets and snowflakes. The sunshine is being blotted out by the amount of precipitation that's coming down currently. And it's hard to see more than about 15, 20, 30 feet around you, as it's damn near blizzard-like conditions all around you. The wind whipping and whirling all around. It's almost like a deep howl, the wind. As you look out away from you, you see like spires of ice and cragged rocks sticking up in weird jutted directions, and the wind whipping around it, making whistling and all kinds of different noises as you all are dropped out of the obtuse owl.
North of the wall now.
Are we
just a bit.
Are we dressed properly?
Well, you were able to make arrangements with Thalen to have these wonderful cloaks, which have given you some aid. So
no, I meant when I fell asleep, I was wearing a silk robe. Am I actually?
The funny thing, when you get dropped out, you are battle ready.
Awesome.
You're not dropped out naked. You're dropped out ready to go.
Generally, when I'm naked, I'm also battle ready, but I get what you're saying.
Guns out no matter what the time of day.
Hell yeah.
Ditto, sweetheart.
So, if you turn your gaze kind of to the right a little bit, the sun probably somewhere around midday in this location, but it only peeks through in little bits.
Can I know I can't see very far, but do I see enough to recognize anything from the dream?
Roll a survival check for me. It's mostly
15 more minutes. It's time
familiar
for you guys to go to
you
your rooms.
from the dream.
Yeah,
At least
you're
the
being
up
loud and
close
annoying,
pieces.
and it's late.
You can remember that as you looked down through the valley, there was like a chicaning pathway of about 10 feet, 10 or 15
That's
feet.
not my problem.
It just kind of meandered. It's not a road, but it's just like there were no spires, and it was very apparent where this went. And it
Right.
went towards that mountain or hill or whatever you saw. It went in that direction.
I will tell the rest of the party about this dream I had and this voice saying the cold one comes.
Well,
Well, I
clearly
guess we
the
can just wait
fucker's
here.
already here.
So we heading for the
And I'm
for
gonna
shelter? Or?
You what? I'm sorry.
So to the party, I would say. So are we heading to shelter or what? I'm about to start cutting through my shirt here, if you know what I mean.
I mean, maybe we should head somewhere, but where?
well, there should be a mountain, and I'm gonna point in the direction I think it is.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna say it kind of looks like this and show him my tattoo, and it's like, oh yeah, that just happened last night.
She just left the gem, went to a tattoo shop. All right, fine. Just took a stroll.
I mean, sometimes you just got to get out and do things, right?
Seize the day and all that.
Oh, right. So, if you, Kieran, wow. Ooh, no. Lady Akaria, if you begin to follow the path, you're able to keep that like 30-foot bubble essentially around you where you can see, but everything outside of that is fairly obscured, and it just kind of it's weird. It almost kind of follows you down the path. Like that little bubble is it's a pain in the ass, and it's cold as fuck, but you can at least see for that 30
Right.
feet around you. But outside of that, it's like looking through a wall of nasty icy stuff.
Okay. I do have land stride, so it shouldn't be difficult terrain for me.
It's easy enough to guide your team, especially with that.
I also have a horse if you want to borrow a horse.
You have a horse, don't you?
Mhm.
Does it have a wagon? Does it have a wagon?
It had a corpse that I could have used as a wagon.
Or a cart?
No, I guess I should have asked for one. Is a cart a component?
I mean, hey, with enough RP and good enough rolls, you can get a lot of things.
I can confirm that.
Good to know.
You know, right? So, you guys travel for the better part of 2 hours, 3 hours, 3.5 hours, 4 hours. It is cold. You are chilled almost through to the bone. Your joints aching. with the stinging wind as it hits you. You're almost transitioning into a numb type feeling. It is so cold. I'd like each of you to make a Constitution saving throw now with advantage, please.
I roll a 20 and a 20.
All right, Thalise, you're fine. Ellen, you are fine. Lady Icaria, good thing for advantage. You're fine. Breton and Acno.
It's
We
all
need
about
to
being
roll.
dressed for the weather.
Sorry, what do you need us to roll? Constitution.
Constitution with
14.
advantage, please. 14, you're fine.
15.
And you're fine. You would say that your cloaks have bestowed upon you just enough warmth to ward off exhaustion as you push through the elements. Lady Icaria, can you please make me a perception check to keep on the path ahead of you? Or survival, I'll let you choose whichever one you would like.
13.
Your pace slows a little bit as the wind and the precipitation picks up. But as you look kind of out ahead of you down this path, the path starts to curve up a little bit and then it starts to wind back through, the rocks and the spires, jutting out the gray, jagged rock mixed with the white and blue ice kind of coating it in places, the wind swirling around it and making like little derricos as it goes by. It's absolutely fucking terrible here. Like, I can describe it no other way than it is the worst cold you've ever felt in your entire life.
Yeah, didn't need a perception check for that one.
No.
Like
And
Chicago
as you,
cold.
yeah, basically. And as you look so hard through it, you feel this like little pulse on your arm, almost like a heartbeat, and it thumps. Thump. 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 And for just a moment, the snow stops in just one small spot, and you see the peak ahead of you. The same peak that's on your arm, probably another hour's travel ahead of you.
We're not that far now. Another hour, we should be there. Wherever there is.
Your arm almost aches in that spot where that tattoo is. You drive on further and further. 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It pulses harder and harder the closer that you get. I need you to make me one more Constitution saving throw, Lady Icaria, please, with advantage. As you feel this writhing pain going up your arm, and it almost starts to feel ice cold. Ooh. Thank God for advantage.
Yay!
But you're able to steel yourself that attitude and that fire within you burning brightly still. You were able to push through and not gain a point of exhaustion. As you finish off your hour's worth of travel, the snow, it's like you step through a doorway. And as you pass between these two giant jutted rocks that are kind of almost spiraled over top of each other, the snow just disappears. And there before you is 100-foot tall opening to a cavern in front of you, cut into the side of this cliff face. And you look up, and all you see is this jagged gray and obsidian and different style and colors of rock just going on for forever above you until it disappears into fog high above you. And you hear the wind, relentless, howling. But it's not coming from around the mountain. It is coming out of this cavern. And it is
Hmm.
blowing by you. Your hair and your cloaks are visibly lifted from your body as it pours past you. The cold, now that you're standing in front of the cavern, even colder than what you just trekked through for the last 6 hours. It is bitter. It bites you. It hurts physically and mentally. What do you do?
I'll go in.
So there's snow back there, and there's crazy wind in there. It's pretty nice right here. We could probably just hang out here.
Yes, we'll die slower waiting here.
Slower sounds better.
Way out is through.
Fine.
I'm sorry, Will. Are you okay?
So you make your way into the mouth of the cavern. And it's not a laid path, but again, kind of like where you came from. It's like a guided space, essentially, between the fallen in places and the crags and the built up snowbanks, but it's all blown in a rounded direction out of the cave due to the wind that is it continues to rush past you. It never ceases, always blowing so hard. And you go for 10, 15, 20 minutes, and you come to where the cavern is now narrowed down to this, like, I don't know, probably 20 or so foot circular opening. And you feel like you're standing in front of a blow dryer, just getting wrecked by this wind. And as you look to the bottom of this path, as it kind of curves downward in front of you,
Jesus Christ! It's
you
about
see
time.
something swaying in front of you.
I'm going to take a second to pull my sword out real quick. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're fine. Please interrupt me. Interrupt me. I don't like to talk all the time, so it's cool. Contrary to popular
I would like
belief.
to expend a spell slot for Primeval Awareness.
Okay. And what does that do?
It here, let me copy and paste it. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
All right. You can. Other types of creatures are present within 1 mile. All right, so you get one of those creatures. Is that correct? Aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fays, fiends, or undead.
Dude, if there's a slot in this cave, I'm quitting right now. I'm gonna tell you that.
I mean, there's 10 of there's 10 of them just for you. Okay.
So if any of those
so
creatures are present, I would sense
any of those. Okay, let me look at the
that's
list
how
again.
I would read it. I know some of y'all are a little more up on the rules than I am.
You get a slight ping of You know what? No, actually, no, you wouldn't. Not on this one.
Okay.
Nah, no, not this time. So as you're looking in front of you, that 20-foot opening, do you guys, I mean, you've now traversed far enough into the cavern that there is no natural light left. So how are you traversing the way forward? Does everybody have dark vision? Do you have some sort of light source? Like what are you doing?
I have dark vision.
Same. I also have a torch if anyone needs one.
No, I have dark vision.
Brayton, do you have dark vision?
I do indeed.
Okay. So you there's motion in front of you in this opening, and it just it's swaying back and forth.
Mm-mm. I'll draw my sword.
Okay.
I guess we're heading in.
I'll go forward. Absolutely. Not going to learn anything standing here getting buffeted.
Right.
That is true. It does make my hair look great though.
Just for knowledge sake, could I have a marching order, please?
I guess I'll go first. Foolishly into the breach.
Okay.
I'll follow. I'll go second.
All right, lady.
I have a +8 perception. I'm okay with taking near the front.
All right, we can go with Brayton next.
I'll be at the back.
All right, we'll put Ellen.
I'll be right in front of.
Put Acne
Yeah, I'll be right in front of the Professor.
at the back. Okay. All right. So Thalise, Lady Icaria, and Brayton, as you make your way to the bottom of this kind of like ravine or like downward slope, in front of you, you see like frosted frozen rope in 2 spots on the ceiling and 2 spots near the floor, and it runs towards the opening of the hole.
I just had this vision of us like going down into a throat, and that wavering thing is a tongue.
Ugh.
Ugh.
I mean,
We're going for the heart of the mountain. Wait, so you're saying like back the way we came, the rope is going?
It's just ahead of you, but you see two places on the ceiling where frozen, like I'm talking fucking like 3 or 4 inch in diameter rope is frozen solid in like a sheen of ice, and it kind of goes in an arc down towards the top of the tunnel, and then the same thing from the floor forward.
Okay, so like I'm imagining the supports of like a rope bridge, like in parallel, or
you could surmise that.
Okay.
I mean, is the floor sloping downward? Like, would this be to help us keep from sliding to our death?
It slopes downward, but it's not like at a severe angle. It's just a gentle slope into this tunnel. You're standing just outside of it at this point.
Well, I'll take hold of the rope and go forward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Be there for a reason.
Probably worth checking out.
As you get to the mouth of the tunnelway, you look about 10 or 15 feet in front of you, and you see frosted covered planks, and you see ropes, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. As you glance to the side, and there is an endless opening, an expanse farther than your mind can fathom, and it is pitch black.
Like you peer into the abyss, and the abyss peers back.
You peer into nothingness as this bridge just disappears into the darkness ahead of you. The wind just envelops you in this space, and just the bridge swaying back and forth, just kind of just quietly.
Whose nightmare is this?
Yes.
Yours, apparently.
So it is a bridge into nothing. How's the bridge looking, safety wise?
Oh, why don't you give me a perception check?
Yeah, all right.
See if you can see if it is traversable, safe.
I got an 8. But I also have a horse that I can send across the.
It looks great.
Ah!
It looks great.
Okay. So
You've never seen a finer rope bridge in all your life, albeit covered in ice.
now I'm like playing out this horse testing theory. So if the horse falls, it's a abyss into nothing, but the horse is telepathic, so he will just never shut up about it. It's falling into nothing until I have time to summon him again, I guess. But he'd be fine. You just call him back at any given time. But then, I mean, if the rope bridge breaks, like, that's kind of a drag.
He may or may not haunt your dreams.
Yeah. That's not the only thing that's haunting my dreams.
Did you say he may or may not haunt your dreams?
Oh, disadvantage on your next check, sir.
That's what I heard.
Just kidding.
I mean, I'll take it if I got
it.
No.
Does anyone have a backup bridge? You got a flask that makes wine. You make like a bridge or some shit.
Yes, I do. It only fits.
Let me pull it out.
No, it only fits one.
Again, all the way out is through, I believe.
And to make a point, it's 1 by 1 spacing.
Okay. All right. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but we could tie ourselves together at intervals so that if someone falls, we could all maybe catch them. Or is that a bad idea?
It's a bad idea for me. The rest of you go ahead.
Yeah, I guess who's the densest among us would go last? The horse.
If you're going to make the horse cross, then yes.
Well, I mean, I'm just thinking of like if this all goes to shit and we're tied together, that someone has to be an anchor.
Somebody drop the anchor.
What if the bridge is actually just fine? What if we're overthinking the bridge?
The world may never know.
Man.
Somehow I think if he's going to kill us, it's not going to be as simple as a breaking bridge. I think he's got something worse planned for us.
If it's frozen together, that's just structural integrity. I know.
Little old me, come on.
How does my arm feel?
Cold as fuck, but fine.
No throbbing.
It thrums a little bit, but it doesn't hurt as bad as it did a while ago.
Good.
How long is this bridge? Can we see the other side?
Absolutely.
No, our dark vision is only 60 feet.
60 feet, and it disappears into the darkness.
So it's more than 60 feet, is what you're saying.
That would be correct.
All right.
Damn, that's crazy.
You look to either side, and it is just nothing. There is no
forward we go.
Sound, nothing.
The only way to go is forward.
Yep.
I cast magic missile at the darkness.
It casts magic missile back.
Ooh.
All right, so you guys begin your trek.
I would suggest we keep some distance between us, though, like at least 10 feet.
Yeah, we should probably go sort of one at a time, maybe. Yeah. I don't know how much this is going to hold, you know?
I mean, you never know.
Why do you do this to me?
The world may never know.
Why do you use that tone for everything?
Because I know it fucking gets to you.
It fucking sucks.
Maybe
not.
Because it's my favorite.
Yeah, you could try is the best DM phrase.
So you guys make about 60 feet out onto the bridge. And as all of you make it out onto the bridge, it starts to sway with the wind. And it's like, but it does it in like almost a discordant fashion. So half of you are going this direction, and the other half are going this direction. So it just kind of weeble wobbles back and forth as you're crisscrossing it.
Cool.
Seems to be structurally sound. You haven't come across any planks that are rotted through, but they are all coated in this just thick coating of blue-gray ice. And the wind is just ripping at your face as you come through.
Don't
And
look
you-
down and don't stop. Keep going.
You make another 60 feet. And you make another 60 feet. And as you make the fourth 60 feet, ahead of you, you see this tiny little bead of light. Very end of the bridge. And you walk and you walk and you walk and you feel like you're never going to get there. But finally, you cross off the bridge, another 20-foot opening, and on the side of the wall, right next to this bridge, there is a glowing rune on the wall. And as you look at it, Lady Ikaria, your arm, woof, woof, and every time your arm, woof, you look at the symbol, and the symbol, woof, woof, with just this very faint light. Just, I mean, it's not much of a change in intensity, but you definitely match it with your arm and the wall. And for whatever reason, you feel like that perhaps this was the beacon that drew you here and guided you to this place.
I'm going to look at the tattoo. Do I see the eyes again?
Instead of red eyes, you see this like frosty blue face. And then it just disappears. And the tattoo fades off of your arm.
It's the Night King.
It's the cold one.
So ahead of you, the pathway kind of curves up and to the right. And as you guys make your way up and to the right, as soon as you turn right, there's another probably 15 or 20-foot opening in the wall there. And as you step up to that, the room is pitch dark in front of you. But as you step up to the doorway or up to the way there, this like bioluminescent blue starts to fill the chamber with light. And it almost looks like it's being projected from the floor in these odd like shapes. As you look in front of you, you see a pillar. And to the right of that, a little ways further, you see another pillar. And to the left, you see a pillar there. And on the opposite side, you see another pillar. And all of a sudden, in the center of all of that, you see a 3 or 4 tiered set of circles. They're not just circles, they're like steps. And in the middle of it is a raised dais with a lectern facing the doorway.
This is just an open room otherwise.
It is currently to you all, it is an open room. Yes.
Is there anything on the lectern that we can see from where we are?
From where you're at, you have no idea what is on this lectern at all.
I'm going to it. I'm gonna go and check it out.
Let me
I'm
see
gonna look
here.
at. I will look at the pillars to see if there's any weird things like there was in the last room with pillars.
Why? Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry. What the fuck?
Shit, we got a map.
Why can't? Oh, there we go.
Some mapping in.
Let me know if you guys have control of your characters here.
Yes,
Why
I
do
have
I have-
control.
I'm not
Yep.
sure why there are two of me.
Now there's only one.
Okay.
All right.
Yes,
So
I have.
as you guys enter from this side, you look ahead of you and you see these like weird shaped pools on the floor, in the floor, but they're not liquid. They are frozen solid all the way across. But
I
as you're
hope nothing-
looking, but as you're looking at them, they are shining this like bioluminescent blue up onto the ceiling, and it's like just cascading light throughout the whole room. And there's 4 of them. There's one between each of the sets of pillars that are around this circular, like tiered kind of stepway almost.
I hope nothing comes out of these pools.
I say we open them up.
And as you get a little bit closer, you look up to the lectern and you see a book laying on the lectern, kind of half open. The
book, you
wind,
say?
the wind in here is not as strong, but it does circulate in the chamber still. But it's not like standing in front of a blow dryer.
I would like to go read the book.
That's what I was doing.
I want to look
Yeah.
at the pillars. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a
Take it away.
That's what I would. Yeah.
All right. So Acno's going to go up to the lectern. What is everybody else doing?
I will hang back in defense.
Okay. You're readying yourself, steeling yourself, and being ready for whatever may happen.
I'm
I'm
going.
guessing it's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yep.
go look at that pillar
I'll go with the professor.
whenever it gets to
So
me.
I'm assuming is the book up here?
The book is in the center. That this tiny circle is where the lectern is sitting.
Okay.
As you look down at the book, the pages are, they've got a very frosty appearance to them, right? And what languages do you speak, Professor?
Look. They speak. Oh, okay. They speak Common, Dwarvish, Elvish, Infernal.
It feels like a mixture of some of those, but it is far enough removed that you can't quite make it out. And this book, it's not a small book. The lectern is itself, you have to almost crawl your way up onto this lectern to read the book. And the book is probably, if you took your arm, doctor or professor, and laid one half of the book out, it would be from your shoulder most of the way down your arm on one page, and the same
Wow.
way on the other side. This book is probably 3 foot wide.
I'm gonna cast Comprehend Languages.
Okay. The words on the page start to filter and shift and move and turn, and your mind locks in on it. And this is written in Giant.
Okay.
Don't love that.
And the page before you basically says something along the lines of, "Here lies the chamber of the Cold One, the father of the wind, the keeper of the ice, breaker of skulls, master of this domain."
Lovely.
What was his name?
There's
What
on
was
this
his name again?
on this
Did it
page.
say his name or?
It didn't say his name. It just said the Cold One.
Oh, okay. Okay, got it.
Coors Light.
I'm gonna flip the page.
Okay. You.
I'm gonna flip the pages and
You're gonna
read.
okay, you're gonna flip the pages. All right, so
Mhm.
you have to basically grab with two hands and pry and pull, and the page kind of as it flops over onto the next page. Again, the words almost like shifting and turning in your mind as you're locking them into place because you don't read the language, but now you understand it. And it goes on to say, "Beware. Your footsteps call his name. Beware. Your time here is short."
Damn, that's good giant humor. Get it? Short.
Short.
Sorry.
I'll tell
I
everybody
realize you
what-
try
what
and
to
build
say.
tension.
You're fine.
I tell everybody what it says.
Okay. Do you flip
I'm
another
gonna keep
page?
reading until it won't let me read anymore. Yep.
Okay. You flip to the next page and it says,
Don't
to,
blink.
to free yourselves from wind and cold, the 4 keys you must have and bestow. Lock and key, turn them now, sink and swim, or you will drown.
You put that in the chat. so I can put it in my notes.
That's okay.
Please.
Yep. Let me type it out.
I type fast, but I don't type that fast.
It's okay.
I feel really compelled to just like stab one of these pools really hard. That's my thought process here. Maybe there's some cool shit in there. Maybe there's a key. Maybe there are monsters, but you know, stabbing them is a good way to find out.
This is essentially what it says because I didn't have that written down.
We in the biz call that improv.
That's exactly what it was. It sounded great in my head.
Cool.
Rewind this and you can read what I read or something to that effect.
So I was looking at the pillars. Is there by any chance keyholes in the pillars?
There is a hole in the pillar, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Since you weren't conversing with the professor on that particular last passage, you wouldn't know what the hole was for.
Okay.
But yeah,
I noticed that there's a hole.
there's a hole facing the lectern.
Okay.
Well, it says if we turn the keys and swim beyond this place, we're gonna have to jump into this to water or what?
I don't know. Let me keep reading and see if it says anything.
I don't like the wet look. It's not good on me.
And as the next page
I might make up.
as the next page flips, you watch, Professor, as the page starts to like crackle with this like blue kind of frosty energy, and the words are slowly spinning and turning in place, but it's no longer giant that you're looking at. It's like some form of arcane ruins, but it's It's perverted. It's not of any kind of arcana you've ever seen. It's almost, for lack of a better term, like slang, but scratched. And it just starts to light up around the book edge. Click, 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 click. Blue flash, 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 flash. And it goes down the inner spine of the book and across the bottom of the book. And it goes up the other side. And then it draws a diagonal into the middle of the book. And when it gets to the middle, there's this giant flash of blue, freezing cold light. And it just shines out across all of you. I'm going to need you all to roll initiative, please, as you hear this loud cracking noise from the backside of the chamber, and you hear this disgusting roar of this deep, throaty individual.
Before we start rolling, open up the initiative window so it goes on.
Yep.
Don't forget to.
There you go. Let me clear this. Hold on. Clear. All right, go ahead.
There we go.
All right.
Just trying to make it easier on you.
That's okay. We're going to take a real quick break, go to the bathroom, grab a drink, whatever you need to do, and we're going to come right back and head straight into this so that we're not up too late.
If you didn't just piss your pants because we summoned a giant.
I'm going to stop recording.